Integrity man. I am a man.
I am a man. Man in other place. Man a man with there. So welcome, welcome. This is the mailbox. Here every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Right here on Love 101 FM, the family station. It's a brand new month. Can you imagine December 1, 2021? When did we reach there? And we're having a brand new episode in the mailbox. It's gonna be great, 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 man from Morn Point to Nick Grill. Listen up. If you are new around here, well, welcome. Glad to have you, first time persons from yard and abroad. So this is the program designed for men. This is where we challenge, encourage, and empower our men in Jam Down. Hosted by Kevin Bailey, and my co-host is right here in the place.
What can I say? Courtney Morrison here. Good afternoon to Radio Land. Good afternoon, Facebook. Good afternoon, YouTube. We thank you for joining with us and we appreciate you spending time with us today. You could have been elsewhere, but we thank you that you have tuned in. Welcome to the mailbox. Hey, as Kevin said, first of a new month, the month of December. Wow, special month. So many persons I know born in the month. This is the last month of the year. Kevin asked, when did we get here? Today. He actually got here today. Like yesterday was Parent Month. How was last month for you, Kev? The shows, the guests. How did you find the month of November? Men's Mental Health, Parenting Month, International Men's Day. How did you find that month?
Well, a great month, is the month I celebrate my wife's birthday. She's the 9th of November. So that's always fantastic. And so many great people born in that month. But in the midst of this pandemic, we've had some great guests in the place that have been, challenging us, encouraging us, empowering us. And so I've been enjoying the show so far. Give thanks, Courtney. How about you?
The month was excellent for me. Focus on men. Sometimes we're so vilified. I think it was a month that empowered, encouraged, helped to change the narrative a bit. The Bureau of Gender Affairs did an excellent job at promoting male mentorship programs, highlighting the goodness of men. The theme was outstanding men leading by example. And, parenting month impacting generations, positive parenting. It was fascinating. And that men are not weak to express that they are suffering from mental health issues. I think it opened up and caused more men to become vulnerable and not seeing vulnerability as weakness, but a chance to share and get the help they need. I think it was a fascinating month. It really
No,
was.
it's really great. I had the privilege of sharing with the Guidance Councils of Jamaica Guidance Councils
Excellent.
Association, Brother Luke Simpson, organizer, and we had Michael Mirage and Blacker Ellis was on with some fantastic men, over 71 of them on online, and just great to see what we're doing, the collaboration. And so I want to big up the man them, the Guidance Council Association, all the man them, the teachers who have been at the forefront, of course, male and female. But through this a man program, with us happy that the man them did it, and the coaches and the teachers and the mentors. And I have to say, Courtney, again, I've always big up the policemen with the hard work, the boots
Yes.
on the ground.
Yes.
And I mentioned last time on Winchester Road, they were doing a great job. But I noticed the taxis are again reckless driving on Ruthven Road after 6. And I'm just saying, boy, I just think we can't live like that. That kind of reckless driving, that's just scares me. And something we may have to have a conversation on how we're going to change this thing that affecting our children, our elders, just people in general. We must can fix a little thing like that, like how we drive on the road. We respect each other, a more patient, kind, gentler society. Probably we need a conversation, and the man them can tell us what can we do collaboratively so we can stop this.
You mentioned the JCF, the Constabulary Force, and today the Bureau of Gender Affairs did a very large training on domestic violence for first responders. And the JCF was really involved in a wide way. They involved guidance counselors, pastors, JP. It was an excellent day. Just want to say big up to Mrs. Sharon Coburn Robinson and the Honorable Olivia Grange for setting up a men's desk and ensuring that our men are being paid attention to. Great work being done.
Well, what about things for the man? We're very proud and love the collaboration. So we're gonna continue to focus on fathers for today. Those who are doing fathering, big job, big huge job by being the example. And so we're gonna take a look at fathers by example. This is the hands-on dads edition. Hands-on, Courtney.
Yes. Now we have two great fathers with us. We're going to find out what are some of the generational curses they want to break. What are some lessons they're teaching their children to impact the generation to come? Our guests this evening are two of my good friends. Sean Williams, he's an ordained minister, Kingston College Old Boy, senior pastor at his home church, Fellowship Tabernacle. And that's the branch in Kingston, our headquarters. He's co-founder of Believe, Do, Change, a company that specializes in helping people to discover and walk in their purpose. Same face there. Developing and training leaders and empowering organizations by teaching them how to build effective teams. Pastor Sean Williams, good afternoon. He's the husband of wife, yes, Leisha. Beautiful woman, and together they have two beautiful daughters, Peyton and Lauren. Also, we have with us Pastor Calvin Allen. These are two young men, leader, philanthropist. Oh, yes, he is a philanthropist without question, and encourager. He's the youth pastor at Fellowship Tabernacle in Kingston as well. It's a Felltab day. He is the author of the book, The Father Wants Sons, Not Servant. The Father Wants Sons. Great book. You need to get a copy. Co-owner of luxury fashion brand House of Clay. That's the brand name, House of Clay. And he is married to my excellent friend, none other than Keisha Allen. And he is the husband to her and her only. And he also has daughters. 3 daughters. Good men begin with daughters. Gentlemen, Pastor, come on. Good afternoon, men. Good afternoon, fathers. How are you today?
Good afternoon, man. Good afternoon. The only thing I would say, since you big up KC for Sean, I would just have to remind you I'm old Marian.
Oh, I'm so sorry, my son.
Was perfect.
Thank you very much for reminding me, sir.
Good to be here.
And Curtis Moran Bay High School, and I see Lady Miller, Dion Jackson Miller, really doing an excellent job of putting up the alumni. So we must big up the school that we go to.
Yeah, man.
Which school they go to? Big it up, man.
Yeah, man. MBHS, don't know. Sean and Kavan, welcome. Great to see you guys, and so very excited and a privilege to have you on the mailbox and to be talking of the things them because of course this is the place where we want to challenge, encourage, and empower our men. So guess what, man? Remember, we want to hear from you. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. You can leave your comments via our WhatsApp line. Our WhatsApp line 876-997-3125. That's 997-3125. And ladies, thank you so much for your support, your prayers and encouragement. And you can participate on our program by leaving us a message via our WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube. But ladies, remember, no calls or voice note allowed. Allow the man them to do that in the safe space. What you say, Courtney?
Yeah, man, straight up. The same way today in the session, they have to say, let the men talk. Sean, I wish you were there. But we don't want you to move a muscle. We're going to take a break. We're going to be right back to hear how these fathers are fathering by example. This is the mailbox. We take a break. We'll be right back after this.
Pretty man, I am a man.
Hey, man!
I am a man, yes. Strong man.
Register your business online. Register your business
From anywhere
anytime
in the world.
It's easy to register your business or your company in Jamaica. It's stress-free. Saves time. And the steps are so easy. Register your business online.
Register your business at the Companies Office of Jamaica's website, orcjamaica.com. A message from the COJ at the Public Sector Transformation and Modernization Program of Government and the Inter-American Development Bank.
It's almost Christmas and Phosphorus Super Sale is back. Yes, you heard it. Come Monday, November 22 to December 2, enjoy massive discounts on electrical and lighting products, LED bulbs, flood lamps, and so much more. COVID still a keep, so all protocols will be strictly observed. Step on down to Phosphorus in Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay, or visit phosphorus.com/shop. It's Phosphorus Super Sale, November 22 to December 2. It's Phosphorus.
Jamaica's gangs are like packs of rats.
Nasty.
They live in filth and try and drag us all in there with them, spreading the disease of violence and corruption everywhere.
Nasty.
But like a pack of rats, they can be eliminated.
Rats.
With your help. If you have information on gangs, call Crime Stop on 311. This message is brought to you by Crime Stop and their marketing partners, Lime and NCB.
Join the rhythm, enjoy the flavor. The taste that you savor. Share with your friend and your neighbor. We're made in Jamaica. Join the rhythm, enjoy the flavor. The taste that you savor. Share with your friend and your neighbor. We're made in Jamaica. Grace Tropical Rhythms. Join the rhythm.
Life comes at you fast and it can hit hard. Apply for the Credit Union Prepaid MasterCard from CNWJ with chip and PIN protection. Need a card with a personal line of credit for emergencies? We have that. Need a card you can use to shop online for that must-have item? We have that. The community and workers of Jamaica Prepaid MasterCard. All the convenience of a MasterCard. Discover the benefits of belonging.
Flow is connecting Jamaica to fiber-fast internet. Over 250 communities island-wide have received upgrades since last year, with many more to come. Flow is committed to giving more Jamaicans better internet access. And with over $40 billion invested, our network grows stronger each day. Visit a Flow store today or call 1-800-804-2994 to find out if you can upgrade to the fiber-fast experience on Jamaica's largest network.
I am a man, yes. Strong man, integrity man. I am a man.
Welcome back to the mailbox. I'm Kevin Bailey and my co-host Courtney Morrison here in the place. So today, the mailbox, we're zooming in on fathers by example. Yes, and we have with us some men of God who are deemed to be fathers, and they're leading by examples. We're very proud to have this conversation. But before we continue, we have to shout out the man them, Courtney. We have to shout out the man them. You're muted, Courtney.
We have to shout out to the man them.
Yeah. So we went out and encourage the man them to do a shout, right?
You ready for count?
Yeah, man.
1, 2, 3, man there! Straight. Holy man. We have with us actually 2 men plus Kevin and myself, and that makes 4. It is now time for a segment we dub Draft, and as I tell you, I have something spelled out for that acronym. Direct response, a 4-featured theme where we preliminarily open the way to our main segment as we focus on the fathers by example. We want them to tell us a little bit about themselves. We want to hear, did you always want to be a father? Was that something in your vision while you were growing up? Was your father present in your own life, and did he play a role in your development? How important is fatherhood to you? We want both Pastor Cavan Allen and Pastor Sean Williams from Fellowship Tabernacle, fathers to 2 and 3 daughters, 5 in total, and 2 wives, 1 for each one of them. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. Did you always want to be a father? Sean, you can start while growing up.
It was a desire to be a father from way back. I mean, every man wants to have youth on the earth. Every man wants to have a legacy to leave. So I grew up with a father present in my life up until the point of his death. And so it was normal for me to come home to see a father, to hug my father, to kiss my father, and have him present in my life.
Awesome.
Come PTA meeting, go watch football, watch Manning Cup. So it was a bond that I cherish and I want to have for myself while growing up.
Awesome, Sean. Awesome. You have something that a lot of our young men in Jamaica don't seem to
Yeah,
have, to come
yeah.
home to a father. Come on, tell us a bit about yourself. Your mic is muted. Did you dream of becoming a father? And was your father present in your own life? Tell us a bit about your growth and development as you grew up as a young man.
Yes, I have a little issue hearing, but I think I got it. So, when I started with growing up, I think I understood both sides of the coin. I had a very good and involved father. Uh, he taught us how to play cricket. He
Mm,
brought us around the country with him because he was a preacher, and I would go around with him watching him preach. And he was very much at home. Um, I remember the sense of pride that he had when we went to camp and came back to our own home in Portmore. So we were on our way home from camp as children. We didn't go back to Vineyard Town, which was a little ghetto construct. And so the pride, just to say, hey, I have moved the family into our own
mm,
house in a much better, safer community. But that it passed when I was 12, and that was sudden. And so I don't understand and feel somebody not having a father present. But interestingly, what I got for 12 years was so powerful, concrete. It was solidified me up to this day. In my 30s, I can see habits and traits, positive ones from daddy. I'm the one going around preaching now.
Yes.
There's so much that I have learned, even things I didn't understand between my time with him. I understand better now. And so I know father can have a real impact, even if your time is short. And so becoming a father, three girls, um, it is so interesting. You see yourself a lot in your children. You realize that when the
yeah.
Bible says that there are arrows in the hand of a mighty man, really children go where you point them. And even when you are not necessarily trying to point them in a certain direction, they may not be learning from what you say, but from things that you do. And you have to be very conscious. Something so simple. I give you something simple. My 9-year-old said something to me. What the men at the car that wipe us, windshield wipers, would come to the car recently, and I said, "Oh, I don't have any money today." Greet them nice, tell them hi, but I don't have any money today. And said to me, "Daddy, you don't have any money." And I said, "I don't have any money to give." And she said, "Oh, because every time you tell me you don't have any money, it breaks my heart, and I wonder what's happening." So, but it's so
Wow.
interesting that that little thing
Mm,
is impacting her. So I'm not trying to let her worry
mm,
about her
Yes.
financial situation, but she took me at my word, and she would have heard that
mm,
often, And I realize we really, as fathers, parents overall, but we're talking about fathers today, have to be careful and conscious that our children take us at our very actions and our every word. And so we kind of have
mm.
to watch that. So I believe, I hope I answered the question correctly.
You
Sure.
did well.
That and
Thank
more,
you,
bro.
Kevin. Sean, for
Yeah.
you.
Kevin, 1 second. Kevin, we're hoping if you have an earpiece to put it in, it might help with the sound quality. If you have an earphone like Sean, it will help.
Hopefully
Yes.
in here.
Oh, he looks like he's gone. Yes,
He's
yes, Kevin, go
frozen.
ahead.
Trust that he'll hear that. Yes. So Sean
Yeah,
and
man.
Kavan. Sean, what does father would mean to you? Right now where you sit.
Mm,
Yeah. What does that mean to you? And could you incorporate in your answer
mm,
have you been shocked and surprised of the demand of a father? You know,
Wow.
yeah.
I can remember when my wife said, "Man, she's pregnant." You know, you're glad bag boss. You know, you're excited, and you for the next 9 months you plan the arrival of your gift. You know, because every child is a gift. You know, a gift from God, and you think you're ready, and you go to the hospital, and we had a C-section, so we could kind of plan and prepare. But when it came time to carry that gift home, like you feel like the pressure, you feel the weight of the responsibility. You're like it starts seem real.
Yeah.
And you're like, Shano Star, like because as much as how you think you're ready, to a certain degree, you're not ready. And I think there are many fathers who have a desire to father, but the weight of the responsibility would have them not try, and so they'd rather not be there than try and fail, especially when they haven't had support or fathers to pour into them, you know. And when I took my gift home, I realized that the responsibility of having a human being that I am responsible for as long as I could see. And what it means to be a father to me is to serve my family, like to understand that the giver of the gift expect me to treat the gift as though he were treating the gift. You know, God gave us a title of father, you know, which to me is his favorite title. And how can I father my children the way how God fathers me? Gentle but firm, you know, teaching, loving, serving, that they can become all that He desires them to be. And I love it. I enjoy being a father. I look forward to it. Just coming home, them see her at the grill, because now they're like 8 and 6. And they say, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. I mean, that's it for me. That's it for me, man. And they just taught me a lot about God. Just even with faith and how they think. You know, we go to the supermarket and they're like, Daddy, I want this. Daddy, I want that. You know, they don't ask if I have money. They say, man, you are my father, so I expect you to provide. It's like it's a natural thing, you know. I'm like, they show me the heart of God in how they look to me and how they treat me.
No.
Wow, Sean. Kevin, I think we may just jump straight into the meat of the matter. Yes.
Yes.
I mean, Sean, that's just fascinating. And I'm sure that Kevin and myself feel a kinship to what you just said, because we're fathers too. And we feel the excitement and understand the joy. So leading by example is just fantastic. We just want to remind you, the voice you just heard speaking so passionately about being a father and it being God's favorite title is Sean Williams. Yes, he's an ordained minister, senior pastor at Fellowship Tabernacle.
I serve the senior
Did I
pastor.
say senior pastor?
I am not the senior pastor, bro.
Forgive me, sir. He's not yet senior. They are not gray hairs. He serves as a pastor. Yes. My apologies. You know, at Fellowship Tabernacle. But indeed, he's a co-founder of Believe, Do, Change, and husband of one wife, Leisha Williams. Hi, Leisha, how are you doing? And together they have two beautiful daughters, Peyton and Lauren.
8 and
Also,
6.
8 and 6. They're 8 and 6, yes? Peyton is 8.
Yeah.
Lauren is 6.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And we also have Kavan Allen with us, who is a leader, philanthropist, youth pastor, also at Fellowship Tabernacle in Kingston. He's an author of the book, The Father Wants Sons, Not Servant. Kavan, you hear that? The Father Wants Sons. And you have 2 daughters. Leave that alone. Co-owner of luxury fashion brand, that is the House of Clay. Husband to one wife, Keisha, excellent woman of God, and father of 3 daughters. Kavan, the father wants sons. So, Kevin,
I can speak for his wife, Keisha, and she says, shop lock, so shop lock. No more. Now open again, boss.
So she has told me, but I hear with prayer all things are possible. And so the key is always available. Come
Yes,
on, welcome back.
Kavan is here. Yes,
We,
Kavan.
we,
You're
we're
muted,
seeing
bro.
lips moving, but not hearing any
Can't
sound.
hear you, bro.
Yes,
Oh man, I'd love to hear
yeah.
his thoughts on this.
Kavan, sorry to know the audio there.
Yeah, the
Kavan, we're still
technical.
not hearing you, so hopefully we'll get that sorted out.
So
Um, yeah, we continue. Sean, what is it in our context now? Jamaica
mm,
land we love, 21st century with all that is happening around us. My gosh,
mm,
unprecedented stuff. But before that, we've always had challenges. What are some of the lessons you want to teach your children? You know, like to deposit in them, and also that you think that fathers really should go about being deliberate and intentional in teaching their children? What would be some of those things on your
mm.
mind, Sean?
I can recall one time I was trying to correct my daughter, and I was saying, "Princess, don't do this, don't do this," and the Lord spoke to me that you are telling her not to, but you aren't informing her as to how to make a decision or a choice. And so I began to teach her about just the way of love, that love ought to motivate us, drive us. So every decision must be expressed in and through love. And so therefore, you obey your mother or your father because you love them. How do you love your friends? How do you love your sister or even your friends at work? I mean, at school. And I remember the other day we were in Wendy's, right? And line and COVID and social distancing take long. Like, Daddy, I'm hungry. I'm like, Princess, how can we show love to the Wendy's cashiers?
Mhm.
Kind and patient. Kind and patient. You see, love is not a mere emotion, it's a principle. It's a principle of living that I make a decision out of my will to show people love. And so the biggest thing I can do is to teach my daughters how to love. And if they get that right, even in my absence, then I can feel good that they'll make a right decision even I'm not there.
Mm, that's a
Powerful,
big one.
powerful, powerful. The choice, and it's good that you said that. Our own father.
Mm,
I was watching a movie the other day that, a son was making a decision and the parents weren't in favor,
mm,
and the mother said, "God gave us free will. Who are we
mm,
to take away theirs?"
mm,
How do we help in knowing that we have children, or how can we help a father listening, because we want to hear some more about your good examples, but how do
mm.
we help those who are listening who say, "Hey, I'm hearing some good things from Sean and I'm hearing some good things from Kavan, but I'm
Okay.
not doing so well. How can I do better?"
I will share it from the perspective of a coach. A coach knows that all he has with the players is training. Because when match starts and the game get rough and you
Mhm.
have a crowd, he has no control over that player. You see, as parents, we deceive ourselves if we think that we can control our kids, our children, because they are human beings who, as the word says, God gave the gift of choice. And so I make it simple. I'll say educate, demonstrate, and congratulate. So get to know what God's thoughts and word is, and you educate by teaching, showing. Then you demonstrate by modeling what you teach or what you coach. And when they do it,
Mm,
you congratulate them, you reaffirm them. Good job, man. Excellent. I'm proud of you. And it's by repetition. Do this over and over again until it become like almost an ingrained natural response. So educate. Therefore, you need knowledge, you need wisdom. Go to the Word of God that has examples and principles in how to teach. You teach it and use life, just life moments and talk and share as you do life, because certain things are taught and certain things are caught.
I want to stick a pin right there. We're going to take a time signal and come right back to you. Some things are caught and some things are taught. We're listening to Sean Williams here. Take a time signal and come right back.
Strong man, integrity man, I am a man.
Tired of bending and aches when cleaning? Get a scrubber bath, floor, and car cleaner. Hashtag no more bending. This 4 feet extendable tile and tub cleaner makes your surfaces clean. So, hashtag no more bending. Free post office delivery or WhatsApp us at 876-990-9740. Hashtag no more bending. View on Scrubber Tub 5 or Instagram / hashtag no more bending.
Money, money, money! We know some extra cash in your pocket this holiday season can go a far way. Grace Kennedy Money Services Western Union will deliver your wish. Receive a Western Union money transfer for your chance to win a share of $2.5 million. 100 lucky customers will receive cash prizes of $20,000 each, and 5 lucky customers will each win grand prizes of $100,000 cash. Visit gkmsonline.com for details. Authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
The world is full of job opportunities locally and overseas. Let us bring them to you. Register now at Distinction College, located at 2600 Park Road, Kingston, 6 Nugent Street, Spanish Town, and Ocho Rios. In 2 to 3 months, earn local and international certificates in housekeeping, food and beverage, food preparation, receptionist, and customer service. Qualified to work in hotels, cruise ships, restaurants, and businesses worldwide. No subjects required, no age limits, no entrance test. Day, evening, and Saturday classes begin very soon at low school fees, easy and flexible payment plans. Call us 356-4167.
I am a man, I am a man, I am a man, yes. Strong man, integrity man, I am a man.
Welcome back to the mailbox and Love 101 FM. We have been having great conversation with Sean Williams and Kavan. Trust that we will connect again with Kavan in the place. But very, very important conversation as far as what is it that we want our children to be taught. And Sean was really going through the paces. We want to encourage the conversation. One of the things that I want our men to address is this issue of discipline, which is a very hard one. How do we discipline our children? And you can give your spin on corporal punishment as well, as we're having that kind of debate. But how do you balance love and limits, and what does discipline look like to you? And I love them to incorporate also when your child really goes against your wishes. This is the real world. You can't control their action, and here you are, man of God, but they have a mind of their own, and they decide to make some choices that just annoy you, may even cause vexation of spirit. How do you love? How do you still be a father? I know it's some hard questions, but I want our men, our fathers, to really address that, because it is really something that we're facing. Courtney, I have seen, I remember going to an open air meeting in Marvally. And at the altar call, a man came up, and as they're talking to him, he's giving his heart to the Lord. And then he pulls out a very long knife, like about like 12 inches, the blade is that. And he says, I was on my way to kill a man because of some ongoing feud we're having. But I heard the gospel, and so I stopped, and this is why I'm now committing my life to the Lord. In talking to him, he says, and he started to cry. He says, how is it that my father couldn't talk to me like this? And the short of it was that his father, is a person in the church, but he made a wrong move, and he ended up in a place that his father wasn't happy. And his father said, I'll never visit you again. I'll never even come to talk to you again. And that caused a disconnection. So I'd love us to have a conversation. How do we mete out discipline when our children decide to choose some other things that we really don't want them to choose? Do we have our guest here? Sean?
Here. I'm
Oh
here.
yes. Yes, Sean.
Excellent question.
Mhm.
Excellent question. For me, discipline is addressed when there's disobedience. All right. Now, if my girls are playing and them broke the vase, to me that's not disobedience. But if I tell them don't play in this area and then play and the glass broke, then that now is disobedience. And the purpose of discipline is to bring them back in alignment. The one thing I've learned is you have to know when and when not to. And for me, if I'm too angry, if I'm upset, I don't initiate discipline then because I might do so out of anger, not restorative correction. And it's a big difference. And I can recall one of my daughters had she made a bad decision at school, and I went there and I was so disappointed, and I was about to correct her there, and I stopped because I realized I was correcting her not for her, but because she made me look bad.
Mm. Embarrassed.
And sometimes when we look bad,
Yeah.
we start fling lick and we start beat, not to restore our child, but so we feel some measure of goodness because they make us look bad. So the motive has to be clear. And if you have an anger issue, you pause, walk, you stop because you go from discipline to abuse. And you have to know your child. And thankfully, from my girls were small, I'm sharing with them the word of God that inform their behavior almost supernaturally. So there are ways to correct without using an instrument. You can correct in grace, you can correct by instruction, you can correct by initiating. Like for me, I have timeouts, stop, think, let's speak. So it's a culture you want to create where they respond to authority. When I grew up now, and my father gave me a look, brethren, just one look, I'm gonna quiet myself because that was a culture. So
Yeah.
and so it's very key. Discipline, love driven to correct and to restore, and you can't do so in anger. And there are ways beyond what we call corporal punishment, but depends on the child. I leave some for Cavan to address because I think he's back.
Mhm.
He's back, but he's still having some technical difficulties. We thank you, Sean, for sharing.
Mm.
You know, excellent. He's again trying to switch device, so we have to go with you until he comes
Okay,
back
no
on.
problem.
There was something that you mentioned as well before we took the break. You spoke about educate, demonstrate, and congratulate. And
Mm.
then you mentioned that some things are taught
Taught,
while
taught.
other things are caught. Give
Mm.
us a little bit more of an insight about that thought and
Okay.
caught.
I found myself as a husband and father. Um, come home at night late, and I'm going through the house and the room. I'm a closed door. I'm a locked window. I check right. I'm saying, but this seems so familiar. Then I
Mm.
start to remember my father used to do it. He
Yes.
would come home, walk through the room, check, but he never ever said, Sean, as a father, as a man, do it. I caught it by
Mm-hmm.
being in his presence and watch him as he modeled. And those things are so powerful because our children pay attention to us. I was driving one day, a man but drive me, and I'm like, dance, and my 2-year-old said, Daddy, dance. I know, I'm like, Princess, Daddy is sorry. I
Yeah.
apologize. I should have had self-control. Don't call anybody dunce. So
Yes.
even in modeling, practicing humility, how to say sorry. As parents, we can tell our kids sorry, because that
Mm.
models humility. It models a heart willing to say, I am wrong. And one of the biggest things that we make as a huge mistake is not to teach our children to admit when they are wrong. It's
Mm.
always somebody else's fault, and they never take responsibility for their actions. So if we
Good.
ourselves take responsibility for our own actions, they can catch it.
That makes lots of sense. The model behavior in
Mm,
following in that line there,
mm,
Sean. You know, coming from your family of origin, you
mm.
may have picked up some good stuff.
Yes.
How do you, on a conscious level, leave the bad stuff, like and talk to the fathers now
Yeah.
who may not be conscious? You know, a man
Mm,
say, "I'll never cheat
yeah.
because I saw what it did to my mother,"
Yeah.
and then he continues to cheat, or
Mm,
he says, "I'll never drink alcohol to
mm,
be an alcoholic," but he grew up in an environment where his
yeah.
father was an alcoholic. So these are some stuff
Mm,
that probably is non-conscious. You know, how
yeah.
can you help our fathers who are
Well,
listening, yeah, to
when
change
I
that course? Mm.
when I survey my life as a man, as a husband, and as a father, and as a leader, why am I still here? Why am I still standing? And I realize, and this may sound strange to some, is that somehow in the course of my life, God has put good men around me.
Mm.
Let me tell you this. I'm not here today because I am holy or anointed, whatever. I am here as a man because from I can remember I've had some good men around me who hold me accountable, who push me, who not going arms out. Them say, Sean, you are going with arms out. And
Mm.
I believe as men, we will never ever become the best that we can be if we don't have other men around us who are think and are move same way.
Mm.
Because them will push you, them will drive you, them will correct you, them will teach you, them will help you. Iron sharpen iron. And being exposed to those men for the past couple years, I have grown even without knowing. I can link Uncle Courtney here. Cavan, we can talk and I can be real. Yo, how marriage, how this work, how you handle when your wife have a child and boy, no sex now go on for a while. You know, no. And so you talk and
Yeah.
you share and you open. I say, boy, no. And because Cavan, he has three girls. I have two. Kind of on the same age. I said, boy, bro, how you do it? Because as he shares his wisdom and me share wisdom, that's how we grow and that's how we learn.
Mm.
So men, after you walk with man, you have to,
Mm.
I can't forget to know. My mentor said, Sean, go in on your phone. I'm going my phone. He said, Sean, you know about total girl. I say, all right. How much man you know who real authentic, who can walk and live truth? I say, boy, one. He said, Sean, you never make it.
Mm.
Come on,
And that,
I want you to piggyback because we want to bring it
yeah.
into everything. I want you to piggyback on what Sean is saying. Accountability, male accountability,
Mm.
having
Yeah,
good mentors. How
yeah.
important is that
You
in your
see,
life?
fathering is more than the ability to have sex and to
Mm.
impregnate a woman. It is a spirit. It's a being. It is something that, yes, it's for a man to do, but you don't only do it to your biological children.
Mm.
And so even when Sean was speaking, I remember our connection, Uncle Courtney. So I said earlier, my father died when I was 12. My mother did such an excellent job with three children on her own and navigating life. Having such a good man in her life, present man, you know. But when I was transitioning from high school into adulthood, I found myself being lost, and it was really God placed Uncle Courtney in my life that helped that
Mm.
transition from about the age of 19, 20,
Mm.
um, up to marriage and beyond. That I piggyback on Uncle Courtney, look to him, his examples, his mentorship, his
Mm.
fathering, really, his
Mm.
ability to be there, to give counsel, to say, I've gone the way, to be
Mm.
patient, you know. And so I've realized that that whole issue of fathering doesn't stop. It's not limited to what you say to your children. It
Mm.
is about being there, giving counsel, wisdom, standing for, being source of understanding, guide, and help for just
Mm.
people in general. That's the role of a man who is evolving in what I'll call the spirit of a father. And so it changed my life. It changed my life, having that. So I agree with Sean that you need that in your life as a young man, as a young anybody. Sean and
Yeah.
I have young girls. The eldest is 9. My daughter is 9. Another one 5. The middle is 5. The youngest is 3. So we don't have the teenage issues yet,
Yeah.
right? But as a youth pastor, I see
Whoa.
all the issues that
Mm.
you can possibly
Too
think
much.
about
Too much.
and try too much. And you realize the necessity why God would call himself father and then look at man, male man, and
Mm.
say, be a father. It's an important role and title that brings stability. It brings encouragement.
Mm.
It can shape someone's destiny, the interaction that they have with
Mm.
this man who is father, who carries
Mm.
this godlike quality. And it is so necessary. And so I really agree with Pastor Sean that this is something that will shape your life. You need men around you,
Mm.
even as a older man. You need men around you to help you to be
Mm.
accountable, but to also be that type of advisor, that confidant. That's what father is. That source, and source don't only mean money. Well, if you want to give me money, I'll take it. But source means wisdom.
Yeah, man.
Source
Yeah.
means source of information, things I've never done. I've never walked this way before. You
Mm.
have walked this way. Can you be my source to hold my hand and to tell me what
Boy.
to expect, what to prepare
Mm.
for? And so every man needs it, and it is a
Yeah.
form of fathering that will become for you.
And come on the same way you big up Uncle Courtney. There is a
Yeah.
pastor in Dallas, Dr.
Yeah.
Conway Edwards. Let me tell you,
Ah,
before
great
him,
man.
my walk, buck me toe, drop, get up. Walk, buck me toe, drop, get up. And he mentored me for about 3 years. And it changed my
Mm.
life significantly. You see, there is a principle of reproduction in a man. You can only reproduce after your own kind.
Yes.
And we need men. If you want to be a great man, find a great man and follow him. You know what I'm
Mm.
telling you? It's not hard, but I'll be humble enough to say, yo, I need help.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
You know?
Sean, I go and drop this in. It helps you as a father, no,
Yeah.
because when you are humble enough to seek counsel and want somebody to cover you when you fall,
Mm-hmm.
it's easier to understand your children because you feel far removed from 9, right?
Yeah.
But if in your adulthood you are
Mm.
being mentored and you see just the issues with all of this, and then you come home and your child is having similar issues with your fathering or
Mm.
mentoring, whatever word you want to use, it makes you more able to understand. It
Yeah.
makes you more able. The scripture says, God is touched with the feelings of our infirmities. You are more touched,
Mm-hmm.
with just what they are going through, and then you navigate it a little better. You were talking earlier about just how to correct your child, and what does that look like. And I think the more we are mentored and submit ourselves to mentorship, no matter how old we are, it helps you in how to be that source of correction, because we should never correct out of being embarrassed, out of being angry. Most of the
Mm.
beatings that we have gotten in our life, it's not because of what we do, it's
Yeah,
because
man.
our
Mm.
parents were upset that we did it
Upset.
and angry or embarrassed, especially
Yeah.
out the road. Get
Oh,
embarrassed out.
well, no.
Get-
Yeah, I get
and
you.
so we get beaten, and some of us, we got beaten for something, and we thought it was for A when it was really for B, because we never
Mm.
really know. We just know we are getting beaten, and they think it's A when it is. And so we have to,
Yeah.
it helps us when we are constantly submitted to someone. It helps us to
Bro,
So
consider these things
I can
so that we
remember
can then be
one
better.
thing, bro. I was
yeah.
complaining about having my girls just frustrate me. And when God spoke to my heart, He said, Sean, your girls are 8 and 6. I have you over 40 years. Calm down.
Mm. Mm.
Calm
Wow.
down.
That's sobering.
Tell you, man.
Lashana says mentorship is vital. Gentlemen, how
Mm.
important it is for collaboration with the different with your wife, for instance, the partnership. how
Yeah.
important is that to the impact of parenting? And also the different personalities. I know we have limited time.
Yeah.
Different personalities. How you deal with
Wow.
that so that you're not into the comparison and so. Short.
All right, one quick thing.
Yeah.
Our wife have to be one, so they hear one voice.
Mm-hmm.
Children are very smart.
Yeah.
Whenever they come to me and ask anything, what did mommy say? That's my first question. Number two, justice requires you treat each child based on their ability and their character. You can't have a blanket response. So if child A is more responsible, then you entrust more to her. If child B is not, you have to teach and correct because justice requires you to teach each child according to how they respond. And the issue is, reaffirming love that their value remains unchanged, that the
Yeah.
love is constant. So what I do is not I don't love you, but because I do love you, I have to correct you. Kavan, over to you, because time short.
No, 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 you made some valid points.
Yeah.
The first thing is that we are training our children how to deal with with women.
Mhm.
Especially, so how I interact with my wife and how my wife interacts with me. We are training our girls how
Mhm.
to deal with men. And I don't think we realize these things. That's why father is an example. And I love that you use that theme, leading by example. Because what you do with your spouse, if you say you love your wife, but you are so boisterous, you are
Mhm.
shaping in the minds of your children what love
Yeah.
looks like.
Mhm.
you know and so it's very vital that you are on the same page, that you are making it very clear that you love your spouse. I said something with daddy did, and I do it now with my children and Keisha, and it's so weird. My father would always apologize. If mommy and daddy had an argument, daddy would sit the family down, apologize to mommy, apologize to us, that we should never hear that they're arguing. And when I do it now without thinking, but people would say, you apologize to your 3-year-old? Well, that's
Mhm.
crazy, right? And I thought about it. I realized it was a culture that was set
Mhm.
because the example. And so I'm encouraging fathers to know that you are teaching your children how to
Mhm.
what love looks like, and when you
And
how you interact with your wife. So love looks. Read the personalities.
mhm.
Um, Sean said something that might be controversial, but it's so true. Their children have different personalities. If you have a blanket way to treat each of them, you're going
Mhm.
to lose some, or lose one, or lose you.
Mhm.
None of them, and then you have to teach. The only thing I add is that you have to teach them why is it that
Yeah.
it seems unfair. And I'm teaching you. I tell my 9-year-old all the time, you are 9. Judah is 3. I cannot hold Judah to the same standard that I hold you because you're
Mhm.
older. But
Yeah.
as she becomes older, I am going to hold her to that standard. Or you are a little quicker on math than her. So I'm a little more, understanding of her thing. And,
Mhm.
I explain it. But you cannot, I'm telling you, you won't be able to have a blanket thing. You would want one, but the blanket
Yeah.
will cover some from the cold, and
Yeah.
then it will suffocate some to death. So you
Yeah.
have to rethink
Boy,
how
a
you
big
use
point
it.
I want, a big point I want to make, and
Yeah.
fathers get this. Sometimes we have a distinction between husband and father. A good father is also a great husband. You cannot separate them because how you play the husband role is also training your son and your daughter. Very important. So the way how I treat my wife, I'm giving my girls a picture of how they are to be treated, what their standards are to be, what their expectations are. How you raise your son, he must see how you treat a woman because that is key, especially in these days where we have so much gender-based violence, both sides, because the lack of having a model how to treat your spouse, how to deal with arguments, how to forgive, how to share. These things are also part of the cards experience.
I'm happy you went down that road, Sean. We
Yeah.
have about 3 minutes left, and I
Mm.
want to give you both sufficient time. So we have men who are listening. They're seeing two excellent examples of fathers, hearing these brilliant speeches. How do we help those? And is the church doing enough to help our men? Do we have excellent mentorship programs? Our men, are they coming to those mentorship programs? How do we get to them? We have men who may have started out well, but not finishing the race so well. What do we say to those men? Can they get back on track? Can they be rehabilitated as fathers? Help.
Go, Cav.
You know, the prodigal son's father had his was looking for his son every day, and years passed, but he was still looking out, hoping for him to come home. The point is, are we willing to do that for the long haul? And I think that's the missing part. The church has done a lot. I don't want to be overcritical, but it's human nature to try with somebody, as we say, and then after a while we pull back. He doesn't come to church as often. That's not the heart of the father. The father's heart, I am in it with for the long haul. If it means I have to move a church service to your veranda personally for you, if it means I have to go out of my way, leave the 99 behind. So then you're going to need more resource of good men that are willing to mentor. And you're going to need to go to men that may not come to you, and in their moments of weakness, they may find every excuse, but they should never find the excuse that your arms are wide open for them to run, come, even if they were desiring pig food.
I'll close by saying, good job, bro, is that there's a big difference between inexcusable and unforgivable. What some men might have done is inexcusable. There's no excuse for it, but it's not unforgivable. Men can still be restored. That is the heart of the Father, and He desires to restore men so that children and our entire nation can be restored, because so goes the Father, so goes the nation.
Powerful word here to take us out to this program. Stafford from Patrick City said, big up all the man them in the house. Them father, yeah, a real father. Keep it up, men. One love. Totally thank you so much,
One
Stafford.
love, man.
And the ladies too are bigging up you men. Them really feel good. Lashana says most fathers hardly express love to their children because of the way they were brought up. They don't hug them and say I love you. And so
Can I say something?
Yeah. I want to take a
I
10
love you a
seconds.
lot. You know, I tell come on, I love you a lot. Come on, brother.
No, I train him that way, but I will say
You are trained well by me.
right. I want to say this. When I was in first farm, my father would want to kiss me when I'm coming out the car, and I would hate it. Sometimes don't allow it. Daddy died when I was in first farm. So I don't make that mistake again. So I love upon my children.
Oh my
I
God.
give it.
Every
Even
day.
when I'm frustrated, I will still hug them. I will still kiss them. And my 9-year-old don't like it, but hush. And daddy still give it.
I tell them I love you every single day.
Oh
God, so
Every
things
day.
we need to practice, you know. Again, you both know CJ is getting married on Sunday at
Big
11
up CJ, you don't know
Yes,
the boss.
yes,
Your
yes.
boss.
big up CJ.
And today is Shavon's and Gio's anniversary of where I was given
Wow.
by my father.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, you are a great man. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Look out for the
So
pitfalls. Yes, sir.
yeah. Thanks to our producer, Tony K. Bromfield, to Timoy Butler for technical support, and to our great fathers who are fathering by example, Kavan Allen and Sean Williams in the place who are both pastors and fathers, husbands as well. So really appreciate you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Thanks for accepting the call. This was the program Designed for Men with Guess Who? Amen. Hosted by yours truly, Courtney Morrison.
And Kevin Bailey. Yeah. So it says here a good father is one of the most unsung, unpraised, unnoticed, and yet one of the most valuable assets in our society. Catch you next week, same place, same time, inside the mailbox. So what was the Courtney?
Next week, Monday.
Monday.
Bless up.
Bless up, Sean. Bless up, Kavan.
Monday.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in.
Bless up. Take
Bless
care,
you.
Courtney.
Bless you, Kev. Hail up mural for me.